Happy New Year's, guys! The new Forbidden List is fast approaching. I mean, I'm pretty sure by the time I drop this video, the Forbidden List will probably come out next day, but who's counting? And with that being said, one would be pretty anxious to find out what cards should be on the Forbidden List. Now, this isn't perfect, but I do like to say we have a pretty good track record. While we may have not gotten every card correct, we've gotten the concept of every single Forbidden List. And in this video, we're gonna take another crack at it. So let's jump right into it. So before we get into this video, I just have to say I did not copy the OCG. I legitimately sat down and thought about the actual problematic cards. Me and OCG just happened to be on the same wavelength because the card that I want to talk to you about being banned is Outer Entity Azathoth. Now, Azathoth is probably the biggest thought in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it does prevent players from activating monster effects. This was actually a problem a long time ago when Rank Up Magic Launch would allow you to special summon Azathoth during your opponent's turn, preventing them from activating monster effects. I mean, as I said, it's a following thing between this card and monster effects, as now you can summon this card to prevent your opponent from hand trapping you and then pop off with your combo. This is actually a direct hit to Lunalight Orcust. I ain't even telling no lie, because this is probably the strongest variant of Orcust right now. I'm not here to kill any decks whatsoever. I don't think that Konami has any intention to. But one thing that I do want to address is the prevalence of Orcust and also Sky Striker engine decks being played in just about everything. I mean, aren't you kind of bored to see Sky Striker cards in a deck that's not Sky Striker? I mean, you're probably bored of Sky Striker right now, but I have a strong feeling Konami doesn't like engines inside of other strategies. Now, you guys already know about my stance on hand traps. They're utter trash. I mean, seriously, I made a whole video about them being trash. You can go ahead and check it out. Azathoth actually does bring a little bit more relevance to the hand trap situation and can push them on their way to be in a better position. I mean, better position than what trash is right now. Look, I even have hand traps. Like, look. All of the hand traps right here, guys. Now, initially, we have no cards on our limited list. But after talking to my boy Yubel Mastery, yeah, he's right here.
You want me to come?
No, I want you to say hi. You ain't gotta show your face. Nobody don't like you like that.
No.
What the hell is a Yubel Mastery anyways?
Exactly.
The concept of Sky Striker Mobilize Engage to 1 isn't necessarily to hit Sky Strikers. We're actually just transferring the power to prevent other decks to play the Sky Striker engine. How many times have you guys seen Mobilize Engage in your deck? Or in another deck. I hope it's in your deck too. But how many times have you seen Sky Striker Mobilize Engage in a deck not Sky Strikers? In this format, probably all of the time. That is a huge problem, and Konami always seems to address those engine cards inside of a strategy. We know that Sky Striker is getting more support later on down in the future, so this is just a move around of power, a positional shift to get players to stop playing Sky Striker in their non-Sky Striker decks.
I'm gonna come at you with that Sky Striker Duel. You ain't ready.
Is he? Why is he here? Moving forward towards semi-limited, we really do feel that Sky Striker needs to be addressed, and hitting Mobilize Engage to 1 while leaving all of the other cards on that particular list is just bad for business when it comes to Sky Strikers. With that being said, we did move Mecha Module's Multi-Roll to 2, a card that actually is dependent on the Sky Striker deck itself, bringing power back to the strategy. I also decided to bring Sky Striker Ace Kagari back to 2 for the exact same reason. Sky Striker isn't necessarily the most dominant deck. As of recent, it really hasn't made a showing. So bringing power back to the deck doesn't seem that it'll hurt, and again, it's still getting more support. I can see Sky Strikers being the true Draco of the Link format. You know, a deck that kind of just doesn't die and stays there and is always relevant. Yeah, that seems to be where Sky Striker's trajectory is headed.
So if Sky Striker is the Link deck that never dies, then Burning Abyss is the XC deck that never dies?
Bro, like how synchros are there's no synchros. Synchros are ass. I'll be able to explain to you later why synchros are at a huge disadvantage, but in short term, synchros themselves aren't trash, yeah, we gotta wait for the video. The next card we are going to semi-limited is Orcust Tarp Horror. This actually is like a baby slap on the wrist. Looking at the OCG list, they did the exact same thing, and I swear I am not copying them. If anything, they're copying me. I'm giving you an explanation. Orcust Tarp Horror is just another minor hit to the strategy, not necessarily to kill the deck, to slow it down. We just dissed them. There are so many ways Orcust can be competitive. By hitting Azathoth, we address the most powerful variant, and by hitting Orcust Harp Horror, we prevent the deck from being an overbearing threat. I don't think that this will stop Orcust in competitive play at all, but it brings it down to the level of the other decks. The real elephant in the room is that we haven't had another great competitive deck since like July. That would be the real problem, not the decks currently right now. Moving toward Unlimited, the card that makes plays, ladies and gentlemen, Dark Arm Dragon, officially at 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, nobody really cares. Like, I mean, we feel like boomers now that I think about it. Like, when was the last time you see Dark Arm Dragon, like, just dominating a meta? That was, like, 12 years ago?
Yeah,
11 years ago? Like, I mean, come on. It's been a decade and some change. It's not doing anything. Arguably, Blackluster Soldier is a more menacing card. Like Evil Mastery said, it went to 3 on top of that. You remember when we were scared of BLS and Honest? Because you can BLS and Honest and it'd be game, and now both of them are at 3, so now they're like, there were a time where both of those cards were at 1.
Hey, don't give people ideas.
Dark Arm Dragon, I don't really see having any significant impact on anything except for my wallet, because Ultimate Rares are like 200 and something, and I still need 2 more. Another card moving on to Unlimited is Performage Damage Juggler. Damage Juggler to 3 is just a natural progression. Last listed was at 2, and this is just predictable Konami making predictable moves. Again, this is not a wish list where everybody can have things their way. This is a prediction list, so I mean, all of the stuff that you want off the list just might not get off the list. Just like how my dad never comes home. That's a prediction that we didn't predict right.
Look, just because I'm here doesn't mean you gotta get dark.
Pantheon of Monarchs to 3 is a part of Konami's long game. I don't know if people have caught on, is that Konami does like to release cards off the Forbidden List that actually may have a slight impact on the upcoming meta. Now, Pantheons of the Monarch and Monarchs in general may have little to no impact, but just the new shift into the meta, Pantheism being released, could be something or indicative on what is to come. With that being said, we can move right on to the main card, Maxx C to 3. Now, I was once a naysayer to Maxx C to 3, but it actually could be possible, and here is why. There's actually a trifecta of decks. There are the decks that love to special summon a bevy amount of monsters, decks that Maxx C definitely take advantage of. And then there are decks that moderately special summon that Maxx C may get little to no impact. And then there are the decks that Maxx C get no impact. Decks like Monarchs, decks like True Draco, Altergeist, and of course Subterror. With Maxx C off the list at 3, decks like those may be played a lot more, which are just overall great anti-meta decks and makes Maxx C completely useless. Maxx C is no longer a must-play inside of every single deck, and that can warrant it coming off to 3. Now, would Maxx C be amazing against Master Rule 5 based decks, decks that love to special summon? The answer is yes and no. Yes, because of course it deaders them even further, and no, because most of those decks suck anyway, so you don't really need Maxx C for it. Ultimately, I think Maxx C is a fine addition to this prediction list, and it could very much possibly happen.
Do you really believe that?
No, but we need clickbait, so I just figured I'd say it anyways. Look, I'm gonna level with you guys. There are so many cards that should come off the list, could come off the list, and make Yu-Gi-Oh! A better place. But this ain't McDonald's, this ain't Burger King, you can't have it your way, and you probably aren't loving it. This is a prediction list. We predict that Konami is going to make the same, not mistakes, but the same decisions that they've made for years. This list is gonna be fairly light because a new Master Rule is coming up and we have a list before. And with that being said, Performage Damage Juggler has been the natural progression, and we won't see anything heavy because nothing heavy has happened. We're actually in a really good time for Yu-Gi-Oh! Am I rambling? I'm rambling. But just know a year or two from down the line, you guys are going to say that this was the best format ever. Just like you did for Zodiac and Teledad and Dragon Ruler and all that other stuff. Let's just get to the next card. Focus? You can't focus. I don't think any of those were focused.
You know you can focus it still when you record.
Oh, shit. Focus it. It's not focused.
It's not focusing.
Bro, these are the fucking dumbest pictures. I forgot how I started off. There's no synchros. Synchros are ass. That's it. Let it out. It's been a decade and some change. It's not doing anything.
BLS went up to 3 before he did.
Dark Arm Dragon, I don't really see having any significant impact on anything except for my wallet, because Ultimate Rares are like 200 and something, and I still need 2 more.
They're still that expensive?
Bro, they got more expensive.
Why is he not? God. And if you go, so you're gonna give Monarchs their Pantheons into 3, but you're not gonna give Necros their Unicorn to 2? OCG did it.